Hi guys, Melissa from CloudMom. So today I'm getting like pretty intimate and in-depth about something that's going on with my kids, which is a huge milestone and nothing I've ever talked about before on the channel or on my site. And that is that I had the big sex talk with my two older boys. And I didn't know whether I was going to do a video or a vlog about it because it's so personal. But then I sort of sat back and thought about it, and I thought that, I've really kind of learned a lot. It's such a process for me that I wanted to share it because I think it's something that a lot of parents are going through. And so here's kind of like the gist of what happened and what happened with me having this talk and what I said. And I'd love to hear from you guys, whether you've talked to your kids about sex, what you said, how it came up, and how you're looking at the whole thing. So basically, my oldest child is in 4th grade. My second child is in 3rd grade. And I've been hearing a lot that it's about time to have an initial talk with my kids, those two older kids, about sex. Because if I don't, they might hear some bad information. They might think there's something, funny or weird. And I won't be sort of setting the stage to have good communication with them down the line when other issues come up. Like, things you want to warn them about on the internet or pornography or that they have to be careful with strangers or, body parts, all of these sort of important things. So I've been actually reading about this and I've been told that it's really important to have an initial discussion, not getting into too much detail, being very clear about what it's about, what it means, because if you don't, your child won't associate you as being someone with whom he or she can talk about these things, and that's not really a good thing. Okay, so that's kind of what happened. And that's sort of, I was really uncomfortable and I couldn't believe it because here I am on the video, I'm like breasts and, nursing and talk about how to take care of your vagina after you have the baby, like all these things I'm pretty open. But when it came to my own boys and talking about sex, I was like, I'm like, I can't do it. Mark, you have to do it. I can't do it. He's like, I'll do it. I don't care. And meanwhile, he could you never want to get on YouTube and talk about personal things about babies. So I just think it's funny. You kind of realize what your own comfort zone is. And I felt so uncomfortable. But anyway, so we were in this little restaurant when we were on vacation, and there was this sign up that said something about casual sex. And I was kind of annoyed that sign was there, but whatever. And my boys were all giggling and laughing, and then they went up and they looked at it later and they were giggling and laughing. So I was like, huh. And the next morning, for some reason, Beckett was on the potty, the girls were playing, and I had my two oldest boys at the table in the kitchen alone. And I honestly don't even know what got into me, but someone had told me, make it quick, make it casual, don't have some big ceremony over it, just say it. And somehow, because I'm really uncomfortable saying these words, I don't know if it's from my Catholic upbringing or whatever, but I just said, do you guys know what sex is? And one of them looks at me, he's like, Mom, is that when you stick that thing up your butt? He meaning the tampon. And I was like, no, that's when mommy gets her period, which is something that happens to women when they're older, once a month, but it doesn't happen when you're pregnant and you're going to have a baby. And I was like, do you guys know what sex is? And I said, sex is when a man and, a woman, they have this intimate act where they love each other and they trust each other, and the man puts his penis in the woman's vagina. And I look over, and these two boys are sitting there but at the same time, they're like, okay, Mom. And I was like, and, it's basically something that's very special. It's very intimate. Anyway, so they both looked kind of happy in a way, and they felt like these big kids, and they were happy that I talked to them about it. And I was like, look, we're going to talk more about these things. You should come to me with any questions. And they were like, okay, Mom. And they're like, can we play Minecraft now? And I was like, all right. So, obviously they had moved on to something else right away, and I didn't want to make more out of it, so I just let it go. So that was our big talk, and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I had to go call my sisters, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe it. And anyway, so I'm happy that that happened. And actually, something happened after that where I went to this really incredible parent talk, and people were talking about things on the internet and with this Minecraft game and how there can be people sort of penetrating your world and asking you. And, I was happy because this one parent said, you need to have this initial talk so that you have the words and you have the sort of ability to communicate about other things that get more complicated down the line. So I thought, that's all good, and I don't have to do it all in this one first talk. But anyway, that's kind of what happened to me. So please weigh in. If you guys have talked to your kids, did you buy a book? How did you go about it? At what age? What did you say? How did you deal with the whole issue of sex, inside and outside of marriage or committed relationships? Did you get into that? I'd love to hear. And love to hear how you think I did. I think it went okay. Not perfect, but okay. And thank you so much. We're going to continue to sort of chronicle this a little bit on CloudMom as my kids get older. And thank you so much for watching.